I think what will be helpful is for you to just very briefly take us through how you were awarded the tender in the first instance.
Thank you for the opportunity. ICT Works was there was a tender issued openly in industry for companies that would come and implement a PMM solution, which is the procurement management module of the IFMS project. So the IFMS project is an integrated financial management systems project which sought to overhaul government's legacy systems. Now, not only would this have been beneficial to just government, but to the citizens of South Africa. So there was an invitation for tenders from companies industry-wide. ICT Works duly put together a consortium and put forward a bid to deliver this procurement management module solution. We were informed that we were shortlisted. We then went to present to SETA, and afterwards we were invited to present a proof of concept, which is a solution that would then emulate a transaction process. We then were informed later that we had been awarded, we had been selected as the preferred awardee of the contract in 2009.
Mm-hmm. Were you given any reasons as to why you were preferred over others, or what did you, if not, what do you think counted in your favor?
Government, whenever they present tenders, they would then give you criteria to which you need to comply. So we made sure that we were compliant. Our solution was a very innovative solution. So we believe that we won because, firstly, we were compliant, and secondly, we were putting forward an innovative solution, which consisted of an existing well-tested OEM solution, and then we had developed the front end locally in South Africa. So it was a combination of systems.
How much was the tender worth when you were awarded?
At the time the tender was awarded to us, it was to the value of 800 million rand over a period of 10 years.
800 million over
yes,
10 years?
Over a 10-year period.
Now, when the Treasury Director General addressed SCOPA last week, was it the first time you were hearing that the tender was irregular?
It was indeed the first time that it came to our attention that the tender was being questioned by government. It was the first time. Perhaps I should give you some history. In the year 2009, one of the suppliers who had tendered felt that they had unduly lost, and they believed that the tender should have been awarded to them. And they challenged National Treasury and SETA over their processes. I must say that National Treasury and SETA went to court to defend their processes. So it was quite a surprise for us to discover that now suddenly the award itself was being seen as having been irregular. We are aware that a settlement agreement, which was subsequently signed with us in 2016, which was subsequently signed with us in 2016, was seen to be irregular now by the Auditor General's office, which is a completely different one to the initial award. So I must say it was indeed quite a surprise to us to hear that that first IFMS 1 contract that we had won was seen to be irregularly.
But did you know that you were at least being investigated?
Actually, that's part of what has led to us issuing an advert. We are very unhappy about the insensitivity that has come out, that has emerged out of this whole, number one, draft report, which, number two, we were never even invited to respond to. It only came to our attention that we were being investigated, that there was an investigation taking place within Treasury.
So Nexus Forensic Services, which were commissioned by Treasury from the reports, never contacted you?
We have never been contacted. As an organization, we have never, ever been contacted.
Now, how much of the over R1 billion we are told that this project has cost went directly to you?
Actually, I need to even clarify this. The papers allege, in the media, it is alleged that we received an amount of 162 million rand, which was irregular payment. Now, IFMS 1, we were contracted to design, develop, and implement a procurement management solution, which we did. We designed, developed, and implemented at National Treasury. We were paid for our services a total of 24 million from the period 2009 to 2011. That system is still operational at National Treasury to this day. That is the system that National Treasury runs its procurement off of. So that was a successful delivery, and for the services, we were paid 24 million. Subsequent to our delivery of this system to National Treasury, there was a need for integration work to be done to make sure that the system integrates to government's legacy systems. We were asked by CETA to be the ones who performed that integration to show you that government was happy with the work that we had performed. We were then asked to deliver that work, and we got paid an amount of 8.8 million for the various variation orders that we delivered. An amount of 159 million rand has been paid for licenses because, like I indicated at the beginning, our solution was innovative in that we went and took a global tested solution and we developed our solution on top of it. So the 159 million came to ICT Works, and over 80% of that amount of money then went to the international multinational company off of whose platform we developed our solution.
Okay, what are you going to do now?
We are exploring our options, the options that we have, but our company has been damaged quite a lot through the carelessness of taking a report that is a draft forensic report without even affording our company an opportunity to defend itself. So there's been quite a lot of reputational damage because we've been contacted by various stakeholders asking us to clarify.
So if you mount a legal challenge, though, against who?
Definitely, there is a contract, a legal binding contract between ourselves and National Treasury. So that's what now we are seeking legal advice about. We've tried over the period of 10 years to try and manage this solution without, to manage and get a solution without without any litigation. But to this day, we have not been successful. And instead, we were surprised by this reputation damaging report. And that's why we decided that we should try and engage our stakeholders for them to realize that there is no validity in the reports that are being, in the assertions that are being made in that report.
But if you mount a challenge, it'll be against Treasury.
It certainly would be against the contracting party.
I can ask you, who else do you have contracts with?
Quite a number of companies over the period of 19 years. We've been a company that has had 90% of its business in the public sector, of course, because we are beneficiaries of the Black economic empowerment. And part of what made us to go to them to issue that advert is exactly to challenge this narrative that says Black professionals cannot get work without doing anything irregular. This is a company that has been operational for the past 19 years. We have never, ever not delivered work. We have never, ever been paid for any been paid for work that we have not delivered. Instead, we have had to live with irregularity and erraticness of payments that were made to us after we've delivered services. Sometimes we've gone up to 6 months having to carry employees that wake up and go to National Treasury to deliver work, but not get paid over periods of 6 months to a year.
Okay, that's what we're going to leave it. Thanks very much for coming through. Poliswa Kakana is the Executive Chair and Group CEO of ICT Works, and as you've just heard from her, they are pondering taking legal action against the Treasury for reputational damage.